guys. It's been a few days since I picked up the camera. Today I am off and Evie is off with me. I think Evie's gonna go to my parents at some point this afternoon just for like an hour or two, just so that I can get a little bit of a break, because physically I'm struggling a little bit. I'm getting quite a lot of pelvic pain and things, so I think they're going to try and help me out a little bit this afternoon. But this morning we're just having a cup of tea. She's having some breakfast. I'm going to try and eat something, but I don't really feel great. And then I'm going to try and take her to a city farm that I've seen online. It's meant to be really good. It's also free, which is always a win. So we're going to go have a little explore there, I think. Feeling very tired this morning. Very, very tired. It's a really busy few days at work. So, yeah, feeling a little bit beaten up by it, but that's the way it goes. I am now 23 weeks pregnant as of today, which is exciting. It's a little bit scary to think that 14 weeks from now, it's like anything can happen. And I'd always kind of thought, oh yeah, anything can happen, but most people don't have a baby at 37 weeks. And then I did. So yeah, 14 weeks, I could have a baby. It's not scary at all. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my tea. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. I'm really not feeling it. Maybe I'll have a crumpet or something. And then we'll head out and see what this farm's like. It's all going really well so far. We are no closer to leaving the house. And Evie and I are currently in a battle because she won't put a top on. I've explained to her that we can't go and see the goats and the piggies if she doesn't have a top on. So we've reached a stalemate. Toddlers, eh?
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light while we're dancing.
Well, that was super cute. In hindsight, probably not the place to go at 23 weeks pregnant. She seemed quite tired. She just wanted to be up all the time. Mummy cuddle, which is very sweet, but quite hard on my body. And you can take buggies in, but only if your baby's like sleeping in it. So I think it's meant for like if you've got smaller babies than mine. So yeah, she wanted up a lot and she wasn't in the buggy. So I feel quite like physically battered from it, but she really enjoyed it. And it's really good setup actually. And they had a really nice cafe. Yeah, like a kind of brunchy menu and then some sausage rolls and cakes and a little tiny bit of a farm shop going on. Quite impressive given that it's hidden in the middle of the city centre. I'd never come across it before. I'd heard about it online, but I didn't know where it was or anything. So yeah, that was really nice. Definitely feeling tired now, and it took her about 3 minutes to fall asleep. I literally put her sleep sack on her, put her in her cot, and she was asleep in a couple of minutes. Oh, I've not brought the monitor down. I'll go and get that in a second. Yeah, feeling quite tired now. So just gonna have a bit of a lie down and a chill for a bit. Maybe have a bit of a tidy the kitchen. And then after her nap, I'm gonna take her to my parents' house for a couple of hours, just so I can have a bit of a kind of physical break, because my body's feeling a bit battered from the last couple of days. I might try and unbox some more boxes from the move as well, because they're not going to do it themselves. Really lovely. I think the next time I go, at least while I'm pregnant, I will go with someone, because that was quite physically demanding, but I think it'd be quite a nice thing to do with Matt, or like when family visit and things like that. So we'll do it again, definitely, but probably not on my own. So I have done a bit of a silly because I dropped Evie at my parents' house for them to watch her for an hour or so, just so I can kind of get a little bit of downtime, just be still for a bit. And stopped with them for like a cup of tea. Evie was a bit reluctant to let me leave, so I had to kind of wait for the right moment to kind of excuse myself. And then on the way back, thought actually we've got nothing in for dinner. Stopped in the supermarket to get a few bits just so that we've got enough for dinner. And I've now ended up in school run traffic, which is not ideal. So I'm probably only going to be home for like 45 minutes before my parents drop me back, which is not ideal. It's also really, really raining. Not that I was planning on doing anything outside, but I do have to get something out of our outhouse for my dad. So I'm going to have to do that and work out where that is in the rain. So that'll be fun. I'm very tired and I'm very, very, very achy. Just my hips really hurt. I've got work tomorrow as well. I've got another 12.5-hour shift tomorrow. Yeah, not planned this very well, but you know, I will take the time that I get. I've managed to go to the supermarket and get a few bits without having any kind of toddler meltdowns or buying anything that I don't need because Evie's kind of picked it off a shelf and wants it. So that's a big win. It does make it a lot easier actually, being able to like nip into a supermarket and grab something without having to do all the manoeuvring in and out of car seats and stuff. I think because I was working at the weekend, it does just feel like I'm not really stopping at the moment. Like it's either a day where I've got Evie on my own, or it's a day where I'm working. And I think physically my body's not coping brilliantly with it. I'm getting some really nasty pelvic girdle pain that's only come on in the last probably the last 10 days. So I'm not really enjoying that. I saw a thing online about using kinesiology tape, which is like the tape that you see like athletes have on their knees and their elbows and things. So we have some. So I thought apparently you can use that to tape your bump so it helps with pelvic girdle pain. This is not professional medical advice at all. This is something I have Googled. So Matt and I are going to try it tonight and see if we can get me kind of taped so that it'll hold my bump a little bit for me tomorrow at work. So I will report back. I'm not overly convinced. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not overly convinced, but we'll see. It would be really lovely if I could find something that's going to kind of take the edge off and make it a bit easier for me to move. I remember with Evie, I was getting quite significant back pain by the time I had to shield, and I had to shield because of COVID. I think from about like 26 weeks. So I'm 23 weeks now, and I remember I was really struggling towards the end of that time that I was working. I was struggling. So I think I'm probably actually in slightly better shape in terms of my physical health and how much pain I'm in than I was when I was pregnant with Evie. I remember Matt sending me a gif of a penguin waddling in like my last couple of weeks of working, saying that's how he imagines me answering emergency bells at work. And so I was really waddling by that point, and I don't think I'm as bad this time. So I think physically I'm in slightly better shape, but yeah, I didn't get any pelvic girdle pain with Evie, so I'm a little bit concerned that that's kind of happening now. But anyway, I'm sure I'll work it out, but we'll try and do this tape thing tonight. It might be hysterical. In fact, I'm pretty sure it will be hysterical. But it's worth a try. So I'm basically going to go back, unpack the shopping, sit down for 5 minutes, and then I imagine Evie will be back. But at least I've been able to kind of do a couple of bits of admin here and there and get bits from the shops. I think there's a little bit of separation anxiety going on at the moment. I'm not entirely sure what's prompted it, but she's very, very reluctant to let me leave, whether that is bedtime or like dropping her places. She's very reluctant to let me leave, and that's not really something we've had a problem with in the last 5-6 months. So yeah, we'll see. Not sure. I'm sure it's a normal toddler phase, but it's not easy, and it makes you feel terrible, which I think is the worst thing. I feel like I'm being a really terrible mum by leaving her, but equally I can only do so much in a day physically at the moment. And if I've taken her out in the morning, I've got nothing left in the tank, and she'll have a lot more fun at my parents' house than she will at home with me. So that's my logic. Anyway, I'm going to go in now and unpack the shopping, and we'll see where the rest of the day takes me. I haven't been totally unproductive. I have managed to empty one box. This is what I wore when I was getting ready on my wedding day. How cute is that?
Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, we're chasing snowflakes.
So I've just finished my shift, and look at the inside of my windscreen. So it snowed today. How pretty is that? But also it's really, really cold. It is freezing in here. Utterly, utterly freezing. Oh my God. I need to go home.
Good morning, you guys. I am shattered. I had a long shift yesterday, and I'll be honest, everything hurts. Like, everything hurts. I'm getting so much discomfort right under my bump. Like, oh. Anyway, I've had a bit of a slow start today because Evie's in nursery. Put the kettle on, have some tea. I'm going to tackle this because last night neither of us were up to sorting out all the dishes and things. And obviously because I'm off today, I could sort it. So that is my first port of call for the day, sorting out the dishes. But first, tea.
Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho ho ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas cake, and then we go skating on the frozen lake.
Even decaf, that helps. Oh, right, to crack on with these dishes.
Outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day.
Okay, dishes are done, dishwasher's on. I'm trying to think what I want to eat. I might do some poached eggs, and there's more washing up. No, I'm going to do some poached eggs on toast because I want to try and get some nutrients into this baby. And then I really need to crack on with some really, really boring admin. But yeah, let's do some breakfast first. Good morning, you guys. I say morning, it's not morning. It is 20 to 3. I'm off a night shift and I am absolutely hanging today. But I thought I'd pick up the camera and touch base with you all. I am now 24 weeks pregnant, which is really exciting. It feels like it's going by really, really quickly, which is nice, but I don't want it to like disappear. But yeah, it does feel like it's going very, very quickly. I've been awake about an hour after my night shift and I am sore. Last night was a fairly standard shift, looked after someone postnatal for a couple of hours at the start of the shift, and then helped a baby girl into the world in the early hours. But my pelvis is in so much pain. I started the night, I could move reasonably well. By the end of the night, I was literally limping, like hobbling down the corridor. So yeah, definitely struggling a little bit with that. So I need to look into, I need to look into some bump support. I had a bump support band when I was pregnant with Evie and it did nothing for me. So if anyone's got any recommendations of really good bump support bands, please drop them in the comments, because I need something so that I'm probably going to be at work for another 10-11 weeks before I go off, and I can't be hobbling every shift. I can't be doing that. It's a bit of like new territory because it was COVID when I was pregnant with Evie, so I had to shield from 26 weeks. So I think I went off at 25 because I had some annual leave booked anyway. I'm kind of venturing into the unknown already in terms of how far in pregnancy I'm working. Yeah, 10-11 weeks, it's going to be interesting. But I will let you know how I get on. But yeah, I really need to find some kind of bump support because I was not in a good way by the end of the night last night. And I mean, thankfully I've got my really good Bella Moon pregnancy pillow, so that has helped. And to be honest, just resting for a few hours helps as well. I've had a cup of tea. I think I need something substantial to eat. I bought some frozen, like ready to cook prepped pan au chocolat the other day, or like chocolate croissants. So I might chuck a couple of those in the freezer. I'm not going to do much in the freezer. I might chuck a couple of those in the oven and have them. It's not the healthiest breakfast in the world, but it's also lunch and I'm off a night and I'm growing a human. So although I do need to stop justifying eating absolutely everything by the fact that I'm growing a human, otherwise I'm going to be the size of a house. A couple of croissants after a night shift I think is probably fine. These look so good. Look how cute they are. They're tiny. So it's now 5:45. Matt has just gone to get Evie from nursery, so I am going to start cooking some dinner. I've actually got some dinner already sorted for Evie in the fridge because she's not been very well the last few days, so she's been quite picky. I'm going to try and make a kind of chicken tartiflette, kind of garlicky chicken bacon potato bake thing for us for tonight, and then obviously we'll have some leftovers probably on Thursday because I'm working Thursday day, so it'll be nice to have dinner ready and kind of cooked already. So I'm going to cook that now, and I imagine I'll just start cooking and Matt and Evie will be home from nursery. Guys, it is now 10:45 on Wednesday morning. I've had a bit of a slow start. I am now off to the hairdressers because this is a state. It is a state. It has been so long since I've had my hair done. Like, yeah, okay, the postpartum regrowth, but my colour has completely faded. It's just, and it's like straw, and yet it's gloriously long, but I only ever wear it up because it is unmanageable. So I'm gonna go and get it done. And I think I am gonna go bold. Watch this space. My appointment's at 11:30, so I need to leave the house in 10 minutes. Desperately need a cup of tea. I'm gonna get some breakfast on the way. I am my own worst enemy when it comes to things like this because I think, oh, I need the rest, and then I end up rushing. I am my own worst enemy. I don't know what's going on with the lighting, by the way. I don't know if you can see. It looks like there's like a dark stripe going up and down the screen. I'm going to look into that.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear.
Hello you guys, so it's been a few days since I picked up the camera. I think I last saw you when I was at the hairdresser's, so my hair is done. It's actually been a few days, so today is Sunday. After I finished at the hairdresser's the other day, I got home and then it was time to do tea time, bedtime and everything with Evie. And then Thursday I was at work. Friday I had Evie and I just didn't pick up the camera. Saturday was yesterday and we started planning a new project that we're going to do in the hall at this new house. So I will share more of that as it goes along. But we went to B&Q and basically spent like 3 hours in B&Q looking at plywood and getting stuff cut to size and things, so yeah. And then today, as you can see, we've got a bit dolled up. We had a photo shoot this morning with Mel, who is just, I'll put a link to her website in the description for anyone who is kind of local. She is doing our newborn shoot when this little man comes into the world. And she was doing some kind of Christmas mini shoot things. So we went along this morning. I was planning on taking the camera and filming a little bit, and then Evie really wasn't in the mood. So I just had to focus on her and trying to get her to cooperate a little bit. Bless her, she's I think she's shy, which is very odd because I don't really know where it's come from, but she's very shy in kind of new settings, new people. Takes her a little bit to warm up, and she just, yeah, she needed a lot of input, so didn't pick up the camera then. But yeah, got a bit dulled up. Curled my hair this morning, so my hair now is quite a bit shorter than it was, and I've gone red. I think the colour will fade a little bit because vibrant colours always tend to. But I'm really pleased with it, and it's much shorter. It was really quite long before, like too long. So I'm really pleased with it, and it's a nice change. It feels different, which is really lovely, and I'm very happy with it. This afternoon, once Evie's up from her nap, we are gonna go and get our Christmas tree. So I thought I would bring you along for that, because that's always something that's really special. And actually I've really enjoyed sharing that the last few years. I don't think I shared it last year. I don't know if I filmed it last year. But anyway, I'm gonna bring the camera along while we go and pick our Christmas tree. I'm just trying to work out how to rejig this room, because at the moment, excuse the mess, we have a sofa in our bay window, but this is where the Christmas tree is going to go. So I'm trying to clear some of this so that this can go on an angle, I think. Haven't quite worked it out, but I think that's, yeah, the Christmas tree is going to go in that bay, which is just going to be gorgeous, but I don't want to then block it with a sofa. So I think if I can clear some of that and push the sofa that way, that's the plan. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Very exciting festive day. I think we're going to be very tired. It was quite nice as well to get some photos of the bump, because I didn't do a maternity shoot with Evie. I'm not doing a maternity shoot this time. I love the idea, but it's not something that we can financially justify at the moment. We've just moved house, it's nearly Christmas. Like, there are better things for us to spend a few £100 on at the moment, and we're doing the newborn shoot, which was really important to us with Evie, so it didn't feel like something that we could spend money on. But it was quite nice because she gave me some tips on things to wear. So I've got this really lovely dress that's like fitted. Oh my god, the bump looks huge. It's not maternity, actually, it's just new look, but it's like a burgundy coloured ribbed jumper dress, but it shows the bump quite nicely. And that's my bump. That is 24 weeks and growing. But yeah, really pleased with that. She gave some tips as to what to wear and stuff, which was really nice. So we should have, hopefully, some nice photos for a kind of Christmassy photo, but also some nice
photos with the bump. I took the photos from our 20-week scan along, so she kind of put them in the tree or had Matt holding them by the bump and things. So we should have some really nice pictures, I think. Only other thing to update you on is I've just bought Evie a duvet. So she, yeah, just weirdly, the last kind of 3 days, she's randomly started saying, don't want a sleep sack, don't want a sleep sack, want a blanket. She has a blanket for her naps at nursery, so I just kind of thought, oh, okay, we'll give it a try. If she's refusing a sleep sack, then let her not have a sleep sack. But I don't think she has quite mastered getting the blanket onto herself. I think that's probably a skill that will just come in time. So I have bought her a duvet and a little duvet cover. So I'll pick them up tomorrow, which will be very, very cute, very, very grown up. But it's all specially designed for her cot bed, so that'll be quite nice. I'm just hoping that it doesn't mean that we go from having some actually reasonably decent sleep the last few weeks, thanks to a wonderful sleep consultant we worked with, on just trying to get her a little bit less physically on me, because having her physically on me at the moment is really quite difficult at bedtime and nap time. So she now settles in the cot, which is a game changer, but it also means that we've had some much better sleep, and she's never been a good sleeper. So I'm nervous that her going under a blanket might mean she wakes in the night because she's kicked the covers off. But maybe that's just a case of us needing to go in at, 10, half 10 when we go up, and put the blanket back over her and hope that it lasts her. Last night she went to bed in a sleep sack, and then at about 2:30, 2:45, she woke up and wanted me. I went in and she said, don't want a sleep sack, want a blanket, and she wouldn't settle without me taking the sleep sack off her. So I took the sleep sack off. I do think it is probably limiting her movement now. It lasts until 3 and she's coming up 2.5. The lengthwise is absolutely fine, but I think she wants to splay her legs a little bit more, or like change her position a bit more, and she can't quite stretch into every single position that she wants to in a sleep sack. So I get it, but yeah, it's gonna be, I just hope that it doesn't mean that we go backwards in terms of her sleep. But equally, if we're gonna have to do a difficult transition, I'd rather do it now than when we have a newborn. So hopefully if we get her a duvet now, she'll master it before this little one comes and disrupts our sleep again. Kids, eh? My phone's ringing. Oh, it's ringing me.
Oh dear, Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light. While we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing.